Yeah.
Peter, are you ready?
We are recording. It is recording.
We are recording?
Yep.
Right, we'll do the whole intro then.
Yep.
Hello, Ffion!
Hello!
Hello. How are you today?
I'm brilliant. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Let's get straight onto it and talk to you about your time at SIYT. First of all, when did you join?
I actually joined a year, I think it was within the year that I moved to England. So it was when I was 15. Yeah, so 2015 it would have been actually.
2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so within that, was it quite a daunting thing to come into a sort of new area and then join a youth theatre?
Well, yeah, it was. I used to be in a youth theatre in Wales when I used to live in Wales. So I kind of always loved the idea of youth theatre and doing all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to join because I heard about SIYT from a friend of mine, I think it was, or it had gone through my school. I can't completely remember how I found out, but it was really daunting because, you know, going into any situation of going into a room of just full of new people, it's always really scary, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Everyone was so friendly. And I still remember the day I got a call saying that I had been accepted into SIYT, and I was so excited. So, yeah, no, it was cool.
It was always like when I first joined, I imagine the same with Botley because I didn't really know of him in the first couple of weeks at all. And it's one of those ones where like you see all these people and you're really scared, you're really worried, and then all of a sudden, however many months down the line, they're your best mates and you're doing all these bits and bobs and like doing shows with them. So it's a crazy sort of to be thrown into. Speaking of shows, do you have a favourite show that you were in?
That I was in, I really enjoyed doing In the Wings. It was one of the smaller shows, one of the spring shows, but it was really fun doing that because I had one of the main roles in it, and I really enjoyed it because we all got really, really close. Like all the cast got really close, and it was just always very intimate, very fun to do. But then I always loved like the big productions as well. One of my favourite productions, I have to say, I wasn't actually in. I came to see it. And it was one of your ones. It was Legally Blonde. Your most recent one, wasn't it? And it's my favourite. Honestly, my favourite one being done. I think it was so cool. And I wasn't even in it, so I loved it.
Well, this is the thing as well. We've spoken about the power of actually coming to see the shows and how many people actually join after seeing a show. And so we had a good reception from the younger year sixes as well. We had loads of year sixes be like, I want to be in that, So it's obviously like really nice to hear like feedback constantly, and it's a consistent factor in theatre anyway. But let's talk about In the Wings because obviously all my members, Dan and Sly, wrote it as well, and then Mozza helped direct it, is in that sort of thing. So like the role was literally you're the first person to play that role. Like, did that sort of like,
it was really cool. It's really strange, but it was really cool as well. I remember auditioning for it, and when I was doing the acting, one thing that I found really, really difficult is to almost cry when you start acting. Obviously, I'm not a massive actor myself. I joined more towards like kind of getting the confidence on stage and doing all of that. So when I did do my audition, I managed to do kind of crying then as well, and that was really cool. That was really interesting, and you learn loads of things from each other. But Dan and Sly, they're so talented, so it was just really cool to be the first person to be that character.
And I think it must have been the first show that someone wrote for youth theatre as well, and
it was,
this sort of thing.
Yeah, it was the first of many things, so it was really cool.
Cool. And so, do you have any favourite moments from your time at youth theatre?
I think my favourite moment was, and it is again within the Wings. It was we always used to do our rehearsals, or we'd sit in the staff room of Thorndown. And my favourite moment was we got really, really close one day because we all sat in a circle and we all just kind of spoke about our biggest fears and darkest moments and all that kind of stuff. We really opened up to each other and we really connected and became really, really close. Like they know things about me that a lot of people don't know, and I know things about them that a lot of people don't know because we all shared that and we all kind of created that bond and that trust with each other. So that's probably my favourite moment. Yeah,
and it's something that I would happily vouch for as well. That seems to be a thing that happens throughout when you're in these close vicinities and you're constantly rehearsing. You sort of need to sort of be open with it, really.
Yeah.
I think that does help.
The show is such an emotional roller coaster as well, which I think that's another reason why people kind of connected so much. Is there was so many different, like the character that I played, she was your typical kind of mean girl. She never really wanted to connect with anybody, and then the one scene, you see my character completely break down and almost admit why she's the way she is. And it had moments like that. It had really touching moments. It had love scenes. It had hate scenes. It had anger. And throughout the whole show, it was intertwined with really funny parts as well. So it was a massive emotional roller coaster, and it allowed people to kind of connect with the cast and with the characters and the way that it was written as well. So no, it was really kind of geniusly written as well. It was so good, so cool.
So post Youth Theatre, what have you been up to?
So I currently have been working a lot more on my music. I'm at university now. So I have been obviously working at university, but then all that shut down due to this horrible kind of isolation and stuff. But since then, I've been kind of working on my music. I've signed to a record label, which is really nice, like more of a management label. They're called HQ, and they're in Leicester. And I'm working a lot more on developing myself as an artist on stage. So, and to be honest, when I first joined a youth theatre, it wasn't SIYT, but I joined one when I was in Wales. That was the first thing that actually got me onto stage. So that's what I love so much about youth theatre as well, like itself. It's the fact that it gets people on stage, it gets people confident, and just completely making things up and doing things and sporadically just kind of doing loads of different things that you need to learn in order to be on stage. It kind of played a massive part in my music and why I do what I do now. So, yeah.
So how would you describe yourself as a singer, as an artist?
Oh my gosh, that's a really difficult question. I don't actually know.
I'm throwing them at you.
I can describe my music, if that helps, what I do.
Go for it.
So the music that I create is very chilled. It's like, I started off doing jazz, and I love that, absolutely love doing that, but it wasn't kind of hitting the market that I wanted to hit, and I was writing songs very different from that. So now I do more kind of chilled R&B, soul kind of music. I've always loved that kind of stuff. I like the relaxed. I like making people feel really chilled out, really relaxed, and no pressure added on anything. So I don't really know. If I was to describe myself as an artist, I think that's probably the one word, is chilled. Kind of just relaxed. It would be a good word.
And so is there any upcoming sort of stuff like for you? Like, obviously we have no idea what's going on now, but is there a sort of plan for you?
Yeah, there's loads coming up at the minute. I'm really, really excited to kind of get this lockdown done, because I think it's in August, the start of August, I believe. They haven't said they've closed it yet, so I'm hoping they're not going to. But I've been asked to perform live on the main stage of Camp Festival, which is a really, really big family festival. And just to give you a bit of kind of knowledge into like what it is, Camp Festival last year, I was watching Lewis Capaldi perform on the main stage, and like E17 and big names, Sister Sledge. Like I saw them all on there, and it was amazing. And then I got an email asking to perform on that same stage, so I'm going to be doing that this year. I'm also releasing loads of music constantly, and there's a lot more exciting things coming, but unfortunately I'm not allowed to say what they are yet.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So obviously after you left, the mantle was still, the torch was passed on, because then your brother joined.
Yes, my little baby brother. I kind of forced him into joining, and then I was like, go on, you have to do it. Because he's such, you know him, he's a little bottle of, he's a bottle of pop. My brother, he's nuts. But he's just like always acting constantly, or he's like, if we're sat at a dinner table and he used to tell us a story, he'll stand up first and like act it out, which is really strange. He's always done that. So I was like, you need to go and join SIYT. And I thought it would be a really, really good thing for him, bonding experiences as well, because I enjoyed it so much. So I kind of wanted him to have that same experience. So yeah.
And what do you think the power behind SIYT is, really?
It's the community. it's the fact of one thing you can bond with so many people, and my brother's already said himself, you know, he goes to, when he goes to school, there's a lot of different groups of people, and he doesn't always get along with all of the people. There are people who could be quite mean to him, and he says, you know, all the time there are people from SIYT that will come and help him out, or they'll come and protect him from certain situations, and it is that community. You kind of form a family at the end. And still now, like, I haven't been in SIYT for probably about 2-3 years ish. God, it doesn't feel that long. 2-3 years, but still, if I pass people from SIYT, we'll have like conversations and catch-ups, and it is the community of it. But then it's also kind of growing that self-confidence and allowing you to be the person that you want to be, because you get taught all of that confidence, and from just being on stage and all of the what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Improvisation. That was one thing that I used to absolutely hate, but it's a massive part of, you know, my daily life now, because obviously with my music, if you come face to face with someone, usually before I freeze, I used to just be like, yeah, okay, cool, thank you, that kind of thing. But now you can kind of talk your way out of it and almost improvise your way out of it. Like, it works with radio stations and everything. So there are a lot of things that you get from SIYT and just youth theatre in general. So I recommend it to absolutely anyone. So, yeah.
And I think me and Peter vouch for that quite well as well, because it's something that when I first joined, like, I was shy, still, like, didn't really know what was going on at all when I joined, and it took a while to warm in. But I think once you're there, aren't you?
Well, exactly. You just build confidence in each other, and you build massive relationships to allow yourself to be an absolute weirdo in front of thousands of people, and loads of people. You know, not only in rehearsals, but when you do your stage performances and stuff, you become other people, and you have to do these things that will usually push your boundaries, but it's really, really good. It just builds character in yourself as well. So
Ffion, any words of wisdom or advice for our current youth theatre members, whether that is to do with theatre, singing, life
in general? Well, to be honest, with anything really, just always kind of don't be afraid to push yourself. I know that there's a lot of things, especially with that improv and just anything. There's a lot of times where you sit there and they go, okay, well, we want someone to stand up and do this now. And you're sat there going, you know, I do want to do it, but I'm really scared. Like, what if they think I'm weird? What if they think that I'm good? No one's going to think that. Just get up and do it. And like, when you're on stage and stuff too, if you feel silly doing something, you're doing it right. That's one thing I learned. But it is just always like, don't forget to push yourself, and don't forget to kind of allow yourselves to go past those boundaries that you've set yourself, because you'll be better for it. And in life, in performance, and absolutely anything, like, don't be afraid to completely just go for it. So yeah, I hope that's okay.
I'm going to go do it now.
Yeah.
Go do it now.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us as well.
Thank you for having me.
Obviously, post all this malarkey, hopefully we'll get to know those secrets of what your plans are singing wise.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you later, guys. Thank you. Bye.